Any comments on the situation in Ireland? We will also be hearing about the Cancún summit.
Yes, I'd like first of all to address the question of the IMF ECB, this loan of up to 80 billion or 90 billion euro with such huge impacts for Ireland and the very stringent conditions. That is being met at home in Ireland at the moment with anger, with incredulity from people who are being fed complete misinformation by the Irish government at the same time as they were bringing in these bodies, these institutions. They were telling people at home that this was not the road that they were going down. They also made no mention of the fact that there were alternatives. There was another road to go, that this isn't something that has simply come out of an international situation but came out of Irish government positions, Irish government decisions to save their friends in the banks, and in one bank in particular, rather the Anglo-Irish, rather than to save the ordinary Irish people. And the scale of the cuts now, we're going to hit jobs, cut public services, raising tax for lower and middle income families. They talk even now of lowering the minimum wage in Ireland, while shying away totally from any moves that would impact on the richest and the wealthiest in the country, or on the bondholders. So they have made a very clear choice about where they are going. We are talking about at least 4 years of deep budget cuts that are going to hit the most vulnerable in the country. And this at a time when the Irish government has decided that it will do this without going for a mandate to the country, that it will call an election only after all of this has been done, and the Irish people will have absolutely no say about the IMF being brought in or about the programme of austerity that they will impose and are imposing now on Irish people, with the active collaboration of this Irish government. And we call for them to put this on hold, not to go ahead with this, and to ensure that they call an immediate election to get a mandate for any steps that they wish to take in the name of Irish people. On the question of Cancún and the COP16, I think it is very important that we look at the steps that need to be taken, the ambitious steps that are needed in Cancún if we are to avoid a repeat of the failure of Copenhagen last year. We are looking for steps that will limit the temperature increase to 1.5 degrees Celsius, and yet the steps that are being planned at present will not even reach the objective already stated in Copenhagen of limiting this to 2 degrees Celsius, never mind moving to the 1.5 degree that this resolution in the Parliament points to. We need also to see that the EU unilaterally moves on its emission reduction targets for 2020. It still stands at 20% at present. It is talked about going to 30%, but only on certain conditions. For us, it is very important that it is unilateral, and that we are looking also at going beyond the 30%, even to 40%, and a further long-term target of 80 to 95% emissions cuts. We need full transparency in the financing that they will provide for developing countries, particularly in terms of long-term finance. They need other types of additional innovative sources of finance for this, for the €100 million per annum or dollars per annum that they've said they will have by 2020, including, we believe, that there needs to be an agreement on international financial transaction taxes for this, and financing from international aviation and shipping. And we think it is very important that the global economic crisis must not be used as an excuse for not taking the necessary action or for denying climate justice. We have overall a strong statement of the position of the European Parliament coming out of the Environment Committee. It is very clear from what we have seen that the EPP will try to weaken this substantially They are trying to delete any reference to the 40-degree emissions reductions, and even for the 30-degree emissions reductions they want to put back in the wording if the conditions are right. They want to remove any suggestion of limiting the temperature increase to 1.5 degrees Celsius. They want to take away any mention of the accounting rules issue on the land use and land use change, which actually allows people within the industrialised countries, because of those rules, to make fewer and less reductions than they need to. And they want to delete any mention of the financial transaction tax for raising this long-term financing. So it is very clear that they want to cut all of the strength of what we are saying in this resolution, which is a strong statement of the ambitious targets that need to be undertaken in Cancún if we are to tackle this global climate change problem. This is a problem that can only be tackled globally, and it will only happen if we restore the trust in the negotiations, and any move to try and take away all of this will simply destroy that trust once again. We need transparency in the fast start financing for developing countries. We need clear sources, including innovative and additional sources for the longer term financing. The industrialised countries must make their emissions reductions at an ambitious level, and they must do it in their own countries and not use sleight of hand for allowing them to say they are doing this while simply exporting the problem elsewhere. Thank you.